All right, guys, so let's say that you have your childcare program open officially, and now you realize, like, hey, I'm making some money on my childcare program, but I want to at least be at the $10,000 a month marker, gross income, that is, okay? I want to be at the $10,000 marker in my childcare business. Then this is going to be the video for you, because I'm going to be giving you tips as to how you can increase your revenue and meet that $10,000 marker as a childcare provider. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel, guys. All right, so one of the first things, I want to jump right into it. We are back with another video today, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get to the $10,000 marker in your childcare business. But one of the first disclaimers that I want to make, guys, is it's not always necessarily about the money. Yes, I said it. Don't be in my comments, but I'm speaking truth, okay? Before you start thinking about how can I make more money, this isn't any business. But before you start thinking about how can I make more money in my business, one of the things you have to ask yourself as a childcare provider and or a childcare owner, am I providing quality service in these three areas, okay? So the first one is going to be quality. Are you providing quality service? If you are not providing quality service when it comes to curriculum and supervision and care and cleanliness and engagement, you need to be held accountable before you start saying, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? Because ultimately, whether you raise your prices, don't raise your prices, add more additional services on, people come to your business solely based off of either reputation, referrals, or your marketing. So you really, really want to make sure before I give any tips, I'm one of those providers. Obviously, if you guys do not know, I'm a childcare provider myself, a licensed childcare center-based provider, but we started at home. And one of the greatest things that I can say that I've learned from my mom starting that family-based childcare business is no, it don't matter whether you're in your home. It don't matter whether you're in the center. You need to be professional. You need to provide quality service, okay? And some of those areas of qualityness is organization. Some of those areas of qualityness is professionalism. Some of those areas of quality is experience. What experience are you giving your families when they call your center or they're following up with their child or accident or incident happens and you have no idea how it happened? Quality, okay? So that's going to be my first tip before I jump into any ways about making money, because ultimately at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you put education and quality of supervision and care first before you do anything else in your childcare business. Because let's be honest, we're caring for children and we have people's children's lives in our hand every single day. So make sure that your quality is top notch. And if it's not top notch in any of those areas, that should be the first 4-point and focus before you start adding all these other extra things in your business to get to that $10,000 marker. So let's get into it. My second one is going to be tuition, right? Everyone knows, of course, you think, oh, if I got 10 kids in my childcare program, maybe you're a family-based childcare provider, maybe you're center-based and you just got your center open, or you've been open for 6, 7, 8 months now, and you realize like, hey, I'm licensed for 20, but I only got 7 in my building. That's a real life scenario, okay? So one of the first things you may be thinking is, I want to raise my tuition, but you don't want to necessarily raise your tuition because you just started, or maybe you just raised your tuition, right? So obviously having tuition rates in those tuition rates that are meeting the cost of living. Okay, it's 2023. So if you are a childcare provider and you've been providing the same pay rate, the same tuition rate since 2022, 2021, 2020, 19, 18, and before, it's time to raise your rates. Do not feel bad for raising your rates, okay? Do not also feel like, dang, I don't want to raise my rates because I don't want to lose people. Let me tell you guys something. The cost of living has risen. We all know this. So you really, really want to make sure that your tuition rates, quote unquote, match, give or take, the cost of living. You cannot necessarily think, oh, and I always say, compare apples to apples. Do not raise your tuition rates and you know that you're comparing yourself to another childcare program in your neighborhood. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see people make. Why? Because if that program is charging, let's just say $200 a week for a child, that program may have meals included, tuition, uniforms included, right? They may also offer a licensed curriculum. They may be accredited at a high accreditation star level. So you can't compare apples to oranges. Okay, you got to compare apples to apples. But one of the things you want to first look at is your tuition, right? You also want to look at the cost of living if they're matching. And then you want to ask yourself, if I raise my tuition rates, how is this going to help my bottom line number? Because just because you raise your rates and your expenses are still just as high as they were when you raised your rates, you're still going to be breaking even. Okay. So make sure you look at your tuition rates as the first thing to consider how you can obviously make more money and meet that $10,000 threshold. But I will give the disclaimer of I'm one of those people in our childcare business, quality is first. And so if I'm raising my rates, you better make sure that you're not just raising your rates, but that the quality of service is still there. Because let's be honest, us as a child provider, sometimes we get comfortable, right? You never want to get comfortable. So you want to make sure that if you started out providing a quality service, you're still providing that same a quality service, okay? So tip number 3 is going to be know your age groups and know your shifts. This is a big one, right? Especially if you are a family group and or a small to mid-sized based childcare provider. One of the things you can feel like is, oh my God, I'm capped out, right? So let's say you got a family-based childcare program, or maybe you got a small center. One of my centers is licensed for 20, so that's considered small. You got to know your shifts, and you also have to know which age group is better for your business. So you may want to accept infants, you may want to accept toddlers, but one thing I realized in the childcare industry is that the better the age group, the more that I have children in that age group and not mixed age groups. Because let's be honest, the younger the children, the more staff you need. The younger the child, the less staff you can receive, because we go back to what? Ratio. So one of the things you really, really want to understand is know your shifts. You may accept toddlers in your program. You may accept infants in your program. Is it conducive financially for you to accept those age groups in your business, knowing that one toddler or one infant could potentially take up 2 additional preschool spaces? Why? Just for the simple fact that ultimately at the end of the day, the more children that you have in your program and the younger that they are, it's hard to maintain that multi-mixed group, mixed-use age group ratio. So you really, really want to make sure that you understand the importance of the shifts. And when I say shifts, let's be honest, sometimes us as providers, we are accepting all children. Oh, you want to come in? Come to this classroom. Oh, you need 7 to 8? No problem. Oh, you need 1 to 5? No problem. But you have to get serious about your business. You have to know, okay, I already got 2 kids at this age group that's coming in at this time. Right. I'm also bringing in after schoolers maybe from 2:30 to 6. So you want to know what shifts can bring you more money in, but also which age group. That is the number one reason why we decided to only just accept preschool children ages 3 to 5 years old, and then our school age program ages 6 to 12. Was it always that way? No. Okay. We didn't always accept children only 3 to 5 years old. No, we always accepted all ages, infants, toddlers, 1, 2, 3, everything. But one of the things that we realized is, hey, I have this 1-year-old in my program or infant in my program for 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day. And now I need to bring in an additional teacher. So one extra additional teacher's salary and or pay rate is not going to cover, because that one infant, I could have 3 to 4 preschoolers at the same time. Which one is going to be better for the overall organization? You want to look at your business from that space, and how are the shifts, how are the ages going to benefit my bottom line number at the end of the day every single month in order to meet that threshold? Because meeting the $10,000 a month marker could simply just be holding you back only from the space that you have all these toddlers or infants running around, or maybe you got older kids running around and it's hard to mix them for supervision, curriculum, staffing, their needs, other children's needs. So look at your shifts and look at your ratios that you're trying to maintain when you're thinking about age groups in your childcare program. Tip number 4 is going to be additional services. So what additional services can you add in your current childcare business to increase the revenue to get to the 10,000? So one of the things some people love to do is drop-in care, right? You got to be ready for drop-in care. You got to see if that's going to be a good fit for your business, but that's a great way to increase revenue in your program is drop-in care. Another great way is going to be, what additional services can you offer? Some people offer dance and art, right? The arts and the sports. So maybe you might want to offer things on Saturday that's specifically for this type of dance or this type of sport or this type of program in your business. Another great way to bring in additional revenue stream It's going to be, if you are a center-based program, maybe you might want to consider bringing in a vending machine, some kind of vending service, or, the quarter-based, like the bubble gum or the candy machines in your foyer area, right? I know a lot of childcare providers, especially right now in the summertime, what are people doing? They're doing water ice and pretzels. Why? Because the kids are going to go get it anyway, right? So those are all simple ways to add in different revenue streams. Another way to add in revenue streams is going to be uniforms, right? So uniforms figures that. Uniforms from your parents. But one of the things that I definitely want to share, guys, and this is so, so important, collect your fees, okay? I'm going to say it again. Do not be afraid to collect your fees. What fees am I talking about? Enrollment fees and late fees. Enrollment fees and late fees are a great way. Yes, we understand that you were running late. Yes, we understand that, maybe you got 2-3 kids, but you should be charging an enrollment fee, an application fee, a registration fee, a summer camp fee. These can all kind of be just titled differently, but you should be charging some kind of registration fee, even though you may think like, oh, it's just a $60 registration fee, or maybe yours might be a $40 registration fee. $40 is helpful. If you got 3 kids and that's 40 times 3, that's $120, right? That you're not expecting, especially if you enroll multiple kids in the same week. Okay. Summer camp is coming, a summer camp registration fee. Just because that child was already there in the September, I got to do different things for summer camp. I got to do trips. I got to do registration. I got to get water. I got all these other things that go into a summer camp program. And last but not least, do not be a provider like how I was afraid to collect late tuition payments and or late pickup. Do not be afraid to do that. Why? Because time is valuable, and you want to make sure that you train your families and your clients and your customers on what the expectation is when it comes to appropriately picking up and paying you your money on time. Okay. So all of those are additional ways to make sure that you collect your fees, but also have those additional programs in your actual childcare program. So my final tip in the space of how to get to that $10,000 a month marker is going to be adding other funding streams. I'm going to say that again. It's going to be adding other funding streams, okay, to your business. One of the biggest mistakes that I see childcare providers make is we're so focused just on one funding stream, okay? Multiple funding streams in your childcare business is super, super important. I talk a lot about this in our group coaching program, which is coming up soon, our 6-week group coaching program called Childcare Systems. And in that group coaching cohort, I talk about the importance of increasing accreditation. Increasing accreditation in your childcare program, allows you to charge more in your business, but not only does it allow you to charge more in your business, increasing accreditation allows you to increase your rate of pay, right? So you want to think of additional funding streams. And maybe you got tuition from private pay parents. Maybe you're receiving subsidy like the state is paying you, right? Maybe you're receiving funding. Maybe you have a demographic of children that are in DHS, and the DHS system wants to pay you to care for those kids, even though they're not with their parents, okay? Also, another great one, which is a super popular one that's taking over our childcare market, and that's going to be free pre-K services. How do I know that? Because we offer free pre-K services. That's guaranteed money and guaranteed funding. So you want to make sure that you don't only just rely on parents that are paying out of pocket, because you can be fully enrolled one day and be half enrolled the next day. So you want to make sure that you diverse your income, diverse your funding in your childcare program in order to have not just make $10,000 in 1 month, but you want to make sustainable income. You want to make predictable income, okay? So those are my ways in how you can grow in the $10,000 marker in your childcare program. So let me know down in the comments, guys, what are your thoughts on increasing your revenue stream and how to get to that $10,000 marker? One of the biggest things I do want to say as I close out this video, guys, is it takes time, okay? Do not expect to start your childcare business and think you just want to be running it up right off the rip. It doesn't work like that. You got to understand business. You got to know business, and you have to make sure that you look at all of those things that I mentioned in the videos earlier in this video. Make sure that you comment down below. Let me know what are your thoughts. What is your monthly income number and what is your goal that you're trying to get to? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not just about making $10,000. Do you want to gross $10,000 or do you want to profit $10,000? That's a whole nother video. So stay tuned until next time, and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.